nerderotic.com.
The very family-friendly Disney is currently patting itself on the back for the recent casting of A Little Mermaid, and I'm guessing they didn't think this news would get out because it goes beyond giving a black eye to the company. It goes beyond having bad optics. This makes them inhuman. This is the very definition of a soulless company, denying a grieving father from putting Spider-Man on his dead son's gravestone for copyright reasons. Daily Mail, grieving father is devastated after Disney stopped him from putting a picture of Spider-Man on his 4-year-old son's grave following his death from a rare genetic disease, leukodystrophy, because he doesn't own the copyright. Now, before it even gets asked, yes, I monetize this video, and yes, I will match every dollar made and donate it to huntershope.org, which is a leukodystrophy charity. I will post the receipt on my Twitter, July 21st, YouTube payday. My Twitter is @Nerdrotics. Please go double check to make sure I did it. Ollie Jones from Maidstone, Kent, died in December from a rare genetic disease. His father, Lloyd Jones, wanted to put a picture of Spider-Man on his son's grave. Disney refused permission, saying it hoped to preserve Spider-Man's innocence. Now, I'm guessing this is just monolithic Disney and it's some department head who made this decision, and Bob Iger doesn't know about it until now. But I'll give an example of the only soulless corporation I've worked for, and it wasn't really that soulless, it was actually pretty good, was Tesla. And I could email Elon Musk directly and he would respond part of the time. And if somebody wanted to put a Tesla logo on a gravestone and somebody at Tesla denied that person, believe me, if Elon Musk found out about it, that person would get a very stern talking to, and that logo would be on the gravestone immediately. You don't have to be a soulless giant corporation. You can make exceptions. In life, Ollie Jones was mad about Spider-Man, and when he died aged 4, his grieving father wanted a picture of his favorite superhero to watch over his resting place. The touching gesture was thwarted, however, when Disney refused permission to use the etching on Ollie's gravestone, claiming it wanted to preserve Spider-Man's innocence. His father, Lloyd Jones, said he was baffled by the film giant's ruling. He said it did not want its characters associated with death, adding, "Kids only matter to Disney when they're alive and spending money." I couldn't have said it better myself. And here's a picture of the little guy. And of all the things the father was dealing with, I doubt he expected this kind of response from Disney. Probably a big punch in the gut, another one that he probably didn't need. Ollie's funeral was led by a celebrant dressed as Spider-Man and featured a horse-drawn carriage festooned with red and blue balloons. Mr. Jones wanted to put this etching on his son's grave, but Disney refused permission, claiming it wanted to preserve Spider-Man's innocence again. Yeah, because that's the first thing I think of when I'm walking through a graveyard and I notice a 4-year-old boy's gravestone and I see a Spider-Man on his gravestone and I go, you know, that really takes away from Spider-Man's innocence. I can't believe Disney allowed this to happen. I know it's hard for a lot of people in Hollywood to human, but nobody would say that. Again, I don't want to be over dramatic with this as a dad. And you know what? You don't have to be a dad to feel on this one. Just as a human being, Ollie from Maidstone and Kent died in December after a 2-year battle with leukodystrophy, a rare genetic disease he also shares with his 6-year-old sister, Layla. Disney did try to offer them something, though, and I want to see what y'all think of this, but when Mr. Jones tried to get permission for the etching, he was told by the local council to contact the Walt Disney Company, which owns the Marvel franchise. The U.S. giant sent a rejection email offering a personalized cell, a single celluloid frame of a scene from Spider-Man with a handwritten message to Ollie. Mr. Jones, a father of 6, said, "I really wasn't expecting this. It's another massive blow. I felt for sure they would allow it." It gets worse. A Disney representative wrote to the family, "We extend our sincere condolences. If we played a small part in Ollie's happiness, we are honored. We have strived to preserve the same innocence and magic around our characters that brought Ollie such joy. For that reason, we follow a policy that began with Walt Disney." They invoke Walt Disney, classy, himself, that does not permit the use of characters on headstones, cemeteries, or other memorial markers or funeral urns. A Maidstone Borough Council spokesman said it would do everything it can to help the family, adding, "Sadly, these types of stones have to adhere to copyright, and while we understand this is a very emotional time for the family, we have made contact with Marvel to ensure the family are complying with their terms and conditions." Or what? Or Disney and Marvel would sue them? Of course they would. Gotta admit, that picture right there got me. Writing on Facebook, he added, "It makes no sense to me. Characters die in their films all the time. Ollie's last holiday was at Disneyland. He loves Spider-Man, and we had bought him all the toys. But now he has died, and we won't be spending any more money. They don't care." And that's the harsh reality about the situation. Of course, we all know that Disney is a giant soulless corporation, and this family-friendly BS is nothing but a facade, but it doesn't make it any less hurtful or disgusting when we see it played out in reality. Disney has never cared, doesn't care, will never care about you or a grieving father or a dead 4-year-old boy. They could make an exception right now, and that is my hope. I hope they change their mind because they get shamed into it. I don't even care what the motivation is. I just want this boy to get Spider-Man on his headstone. Because I'll tell you this, Bob Iger and Disney and Kevin Feige and CB Slabluski, Stan Lee would allow it. Jack Kirby would allow it. You have only owned the character for 10 years, Disney. This is a disgusting move that you need to rethink. Please reconsider, and if you do, I'll pull this video. Everybody, please tweet at Disney as much as you can about this and ask them, why can't they make an exception? What's their reasoning behind this? Preserving innocence? Like I said, there's nothing more innocent than a Spider-Man on a 4-year-old boy's gravestone. Everybody, try to have a great day. And just remember, when you're about to buy a Spider-Man comic, a Spider-Man toy, or go to Disneyland, this is what this company represents.